Hey guys, so I've just had preparing for winter. Obviously, like squirrels, they go and collect their nuts and store up. So, not great stuff, but obviously, in the times that we're heading into, a lot of fear and a lot of people going out compulsive buying. I've prepared for obviously over this winter period. So, I've obviously halved. We're not halved, but a lot of this has gone off to Dean. So, but the challenge is, it's not stuff that my boys actually eat, but it's stuff that obviously when Dean's here we do eat, and the boys see how we go. So, but anyway, I thought to show you a little bit for homeless. So I've got all cup of soups down here. As long as they're packed up in little bags so they don't get stodgy wet, they're great because there's always some form of soup kitchen around, and they don't always have stuff, so you can take a couple of packs down, get some hot water. Sometimes places like Greg's will help them out and just fill them up with some hot water as long as they've got their own cups and flasks. Tuna. Now, politically, some people don't want any dolphin in their tuna, and some people don't agree necessarily with any form of meat. But obviously, I've got all the tuna for the basics. That's all tomato soups at the back and veg soups, beans and things, all different sort of things, peas, all the different jars. And then that's obviously all tomatoes for base of anything. So it doesn't matter what I'm making, tomato literally is a base of anything. So yes, it is good to be able to have real tomatoes and do everything from all of that. So obviously I'm prepared for having to make my own bread if we have an issue. Shitload of flour, and then these two storage units up here, well three. I have that one packed with flour. That one I need to rebuild my rice, and that one's pasta. But the difficulty is some of us have gluten issues. So, and processed food is not great for us at all. But as long as done right, it's not a problem. So, a couple of little ideas that even if you've got a single mum around who you know doesn't get to actually eat herself, stuff like this, really quick and easy for just some pasta, just some things, tin of tuna and some peas, or even just a golden rice. I know it's not great, but this sort of stuff, people who've just gone into their own homes off the streets, some of them have cookers and some of them don't, but this sort of stuff, believe it or not, if you have a car and you're living in a car, as a lot of people are, you can actually do it on your top. But this is sort of stuff that if you give to your own street kitchen, they can make things out of it. But what you've got to remember is they're feeding the 5,000, literally. So what is just one meal, someone's got to try and turn into a meal for loads. So ours down here, I think Helping Hands are down 3 times a week for breakfast. So that's, I think it's Helping Hands Portsmouth. So I think it's 3 times, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I think. They go and help and serve a breakfast, and then they have a main meal. But I know they're preparing for their Christmas dinner. But I don't know. I just think, wouldn't it be nicer if we all just met at the Civic Hall and just all had Christmas dinner and the council just made it for us and we all just, I don't know. But anyway, whatever you're doing this Christmas, I'm now starting to prepare. So literally, that's me sorted through the cupboards. That's me sorted through the cereals. And then I'm cutting. So the big thing that I've noticed today is, what am I going to do about milk? I'm hoping the moment I'm paid and Dean's paid, we don't just go back to the same habits of trying to break down some of this stuff that we've been doing. One, because of obviously the teeth is different to the body. And my boys have been having a lot of apple juices, orange juices. And you think this stuff's good for the body, but it's not good for the teeth. And then you wonder why you're sitting at a dentist and you think you're being really, really, really healthy, and you're wondering why, you know, you're dealing with cavities or teeth that are starting to decay because of things like too much apple juice. Them innocent things are really, really bad. They've got so much sugar in it, it's unbelievable. But for people out on the streets, you've also got to remember is a lot of them struggle to eat because they've got so many dental problems. So that's why I say, you know, a good old tin of tomato soup heated up and thrown into a tub for them, if you know when they're going to be and where they're going to be. watch out for the difference between genuine homelessness and career homelessness. You'll know the difference. You can tell the difference between a vicious, nasty, potential crackhead to genuine people on the streets. So that's why it's different for me to move around. I've been here for a long time. I am aware of who the ones that do the stabbings, who the ones that do the shootings. It does go on here in Portsmouth. We've had plenty of stabbings even recently. A lot of it's been the youth. So obviously, if you are out on the street, stay careful. Try to stay with things like street pastures, but then, you know, it's difficult once you get involved in an organisation. So sometimes it's just a smile, but be careful who you smile on, because you don't want them to think that they can follow you and take. So stay street savvy, stay street wise, but there's nothing wrong with not giving money away so they can go and inject drugs. But remember, while they're on the streets, things like crisis, Alan lost his pitch doing that. So Alan, I don't know, is on a different path now. These two are playing with remote control cars at the moment. Okay. I'm playing with all this. Not going. Yes, it's reconnected me. Hello, guys. Sorry, it's just tried disconnecting me again. So anyway, the water is boiling in here. I'm going to try the boys. I don't mind throwing this stuff away. If I'm trying different foods on my boys, I don't mind throwing it away when it's a bit like this sometimes. When I'm cooking from scratch and they don't eat it, it's like, yeah. So anyway, we're trying to make sure that Christmas, we're coming through the other side of it. Yes, darling?
Can I have something out there?
What do you want out from there? I've got to straighten this one now. So this is the cupboard that I'm now heading into and straightening up, making sure anything that's out of date is gone. I don't think that actually is, because I did that just as we were coming into autumn anyway. So I already knew that there are 2-3 years left on some of them. Just think how they keep it in there like that. Ooh. So,
can you check up there?
Ooh, didn't know I had one of them in there. Even stuff like this is really good, because they can always go to the local churches and just say, look, do you mind putting some hot water in for them? Yeah? We're going to be kicking you churches' asses. Right, anyway, the boys are now raiding my cupboards and wanting to know. And I don't like the way you're speaking. Excuse me! Do I have to shout? Do you want me to shout? Right, so don't shout at each other. Shiloh, that's boiling water, mate. Don't be silly. Takes 2 seconds to grab a thing and splash bloody boiling water. 2 seconds. I don't like my kids in the kitchen at all, really. Not unless they're cooking with me, but in this space, got to utilise it. So anyway, yeah, today,